Hello, dear friends, and welcome to Oh My K-Drama, the best drama recap channel on YouTube. Today's story is amazing, so make sure to subscribe to the channel to help us reach 1,000 subscribers. We're so close. The story begins with Yumin, a lonely student who is constantly bullied. The bullies take advantage of him, mistreat him, and call him Frankie because of the glasses he always wears. Moreover, Yumin attends a terrible school where there is a secret ranking system that does not evaluate students based on intelligence, but rather on strength and fighting skills. However, one day, he gets fed up with the situation and decides to beat up his tormentors. Behind his fragile appearance, he has been training for a long time, exercising every day, and possesses supernatural strength. At that moment, he sees Kim, who could be his friend, and tries to approach him. However, Kim is attacked by another student who wants to climb the ranking and maintain his reputation. Kim ends up losing the fight and curses the ranking system, which was created by Han, the strongest student in school and the son of a feared criminal. Shortly after, a new teacher arrives in class. In the past, she tutored Yumin, so she secretly cares about him. However, the students treat her badly, throw food at her, and one of them even lets out a loud fart, making the room reek. At that moment, Mo, a student sitting in the back row, stands up and starts asking who mocked the teacher. Once he finds out, he repeatedly punches the culprit in the face. Mo is one of the strongest students in school and responds with punches whenever someone looks at him the wrong way. In a fit of rage, he even throws a student out the door. Surprised by all this, Yumin decides to create a study group to put an end to bullying in the school. To do so, he tries to befriend Kim, who is the first one invited to join the group. However, Kim is hesitant since he is quite cowardly. Even so, Yumin does not give up and insists. Just then, Mo corners Kim and lands several punches on him. Mo demands that Kim return the 20,000 he borrowed by the next day. If not, he threatens to break his legs. Then Yumin, wearing a mask, intervenes and rescues Kim. Kim explains that he borrowed money from Mo to pay for school because his father is an alcoholic. Yumin feels sorry for him and offers to pay for his education. He also defends Kim when Mo tries to hit him again. With just one punch, Yumin knocks Mo down and helps Kim, which strengthens their friendship. After that, Yumin gives Kim his notebook so he can study. However, Mo suddenly interrupts, throwing a chair at Yumin's head. He discovers that Yumin is the masked guy who hit him. So, he orders everyone to leave the classroom because he has unfinished business with him. Mo burns Yumin's notebook, and Yumin desperately tries to retrieve it before the fire destroys it. However, Mo strikes him with an iron rod. Yumin blocks all his attacks and even manages to knock Mo to the ground, surprising the students who witness him winning. When Yumin realizes that his notebook has been completely burned, he becomes furious. Using his impressive fighting skills, he punches Mo repeatedly. Mo fights back by throwing a burning backpack at him, but Yumin does a mid-air flip and returns the flaming backpack to Mo, knocking him unconscious. Yumin then tries to wake him up so he can apologize to Kim. Amazed by Yumin's strength, Kim finally accepts him as a friend. The teacher enters the classroom and puts out the fire. Shortly after, the principal arrives and starts an investigation. Yumin is accused of assault and even attempted murder, and they consider expelling him. However, the teacher defends him, saying he only acted in self-defense. She also reveals that the school is full of bullies. As a result, the principal decides not to expel him. Yumin then convinces 5 students to join his anti-bullying study group. The next day, he and Kim walk around the school, trying to recruit more members. However, other students look at them strangely since they have never been known for studying. 4 hours pass, and no one shows up at the library except for a student who actually wants to fight Yumin. He is the third strongest student in the school. Yumin thinks he has come to befriend him, but instead, the student challenges him to a fight. During the confrontation, Yumin accidentally lands a powerful punch on his face, knocking him out. The students watching are astonished and start spreading rumors that Yumin is a living legend. Because of this, he rises to the 10th spot in the school's fighter ranking. However, his newfound reputation scares the students, and no one wants to join his study group. The teacher remains the only one kind to them, even offering them food. But when Yumin returns home, Mo appears, his face completely beaten up. She tries to calm him down, but he has bad intentions. Suddenly, he grabs her hair and throws her to the ground. Mo picks up an iron rod and seems ready to kill her. Luckily, she manages to call for help, and Yumin rushes to save her. In a parking garage, Yumin fights against the bullies to protect her. During the fight, Mo punches the teacher. Furious, Yumin unleashes his full strength and teaches them a lesson. After this, Yumin receives a message from a student wanting to join his group. Excited, he goes to meet him but finds himself in a classroom full of girls. The person who sent the message was Lena, Mo's twin sister. He feels nervous about talking to her, but at the same time, her beauty and mystery fascinate him. Lena also suffers from bullying. She is constantly beaten because she does not defend herself. However, when her friend Leah is mistreated, she turns into a fierce fighter and twists the bully's arm. The angry bully retaliates with a kick and, upon seeing Lena's notebook, sticks a disgusting piece of gum on it. Yumin walks in, picks up the gum, and glances at the notebook, admiring how organized Lena is, just like him. At that moment, Leon, an older student and friend of the bully, enters, claiming to be Lena's boyfriend. He threatens to break Yumin's bones, but Yumin remains fearless. However, his friend warns him about the danger and suggests they leave. Leon then scolds Lena for talking to another guy without his permission and orders that she be punished. He says that to avoid punishment, she must kiss him, but Lena refuses and chooses to take the punishment instead. Enraged, Leon strikes her multiple times without mercy. Suddenly, a piece of gum flies toward Leon and sticks to his face. Yumin has returned to defend Lena. The bully snatches Yumin's glasses, thinking it will make him weaker. However, Yumin accepts the challenge and prepares to fight. In the middle of the tension, a supervisor arrives. Pretending to be friendly, Leon tells Yumin that they will meet again soon before leaving. Later, Yumin meets with his friend when suddenly Leah, Lena's friend, appears. She confesses that she was the one who sent the message because Lena has been tormented ever since she defended her at school. Leah had envied Lena for being beautiful, but Lena had protected her. As a result, she became the bully's main target and now suffers daily. Desperate, Leah asks for help to save Lena from the bullies. However, Kim, still a coward, refuses to help her. She gives Kim a charming look, and due to her angelic beauty, he changes his mind, making Yumin laugh because it's obvious that Kim likes her. Yumin then hides inside a closet where the bullies are laughing. When they least expect it, he launches a flurry of kicks and punches, taking them down one by one until only Leon remains. Leon assumes Yumin is doing this because he has a crush on Lena. The shy protagonist doesn't respond, but instead focuses on revenge. However, he suddenly realizes that Leon has been recording a video of Lena's brother robbing a bank. Leon blackmails Lena with this footage, forcing her to steal the USB drive and escape. Shortly after, Three students discover that Yumin attacked their friends and decide to go after him. He fights as much as he can, but in the end, they manage to immobilize him. Meanwhile, Leon is about to upload the recording, which would devastate Lena. At the last moment, Yumin steals the computer and runs away. However, he trips, and by chance, the laptop falls right in front of Kim, who, overwhelmed by fear, doesn't know what to do. Yumin gives him confidence, then throws himself at the bullies to give Kim time to escape. On the rooftop, Leon finds Yumin and threatens to kill him if he doesn't return the laptop. With no other choice, Yumin throws it off the building, completely destroying it. Furious, Leon charges at him, but unexpectedly, Lena grabs him and starts fighting back. With a brutal wrestling move, she makes it clear that she's a strong girl no one should mess with. Yumin is fascinated by her strength. Suddenly, Lena's brother appears, holding a knife, ready to kill Leon. As he is about to stab him, the teacher steps in and takes the blow instead. She bleeds profusely, and her life begins to fade away. Before losing consciousness, she reveals that she sacrificed herself so her little brother wouldn't destroy his future by committing murder, showing that she truly cares for her students. Yumin quickly takes her to the hospital, where she undergoes emergency surgery and manages to survive. Lena apologizes for what her brother did and promises to pay for the hospital expenses. To help her, Yumin offers to cover the costs, which moves her. In return, he asks her to join the group of friends he is forming to fight against bullying. Lena gladly accepts. Just when Yumin starts considering her as a possible girlfriend, a brick crashes through the window. When he looks outside, he sees it was thrown by a bully who wants to fight him to climb the school's ranking. The aggressor yells for Yumin to come down, but Yumin, uninterested, replies that he can consider himself the winner if he wants, which confuses the guy. To get his attention, the bully kidnaps a red-haired student who admires Yumin and has suffered a lot from bullying. Yumin's blood boils with rage, and in an incredible feat, he jumps out of the window, landing a powerful punch on the bully's face. Terrified, the bully's friends run away immediately. The red-haired boy asks to join Yumin's group, but Yumin notices a deep thirst for vengeance and violence in his eyes that doesn't sit well with him. Even so, he allows him to join, but with one condition: he must be a good student. To test him, Yumin places a book in front of him and asks him to solve some math problems. At that moment, a mafia member enters the library and forces Yumin to go with him to an abandoned factory. There, Yumin discovers that the man belongs to a criminal organization that recruits the strongest students from different schools to make the mafia unstoppable. To prove his strength, Yumin is given a challenge. He must reach a car before being killed. However, during the attempt, he is brutally beaten and fails the test. The gangsters are about to kill him when Yumin appears to defend him, as he now considers him a friend. The mafiosos laugh at his words and decide to teach him a lesson. Enraged, Lena delivers such a powerful beating to one of them that she breaks his bones, shocking Yumin. Not only does she shine as bright as the sun, but she is also a beast in combat. Yumin, motivated, joins the fight, but for the first time, his punch is blocked by the mafia boss. The mobster insults his friends, especially Lena, which enrages Yumin, as he won't allow anyone to speak badly about the girl he loves. Determined to defeat his enemy, Yumin decides to use a dangerous technique that his master had warned him never to use, as it could kill someone. He starts by slamming the enemy against the wall, sending him flying, hitting his head, and then, with the speed of a cheetah, delivering millions of punches, finally breaking through the wall. Just as he prepares to put on his glasses, a car appears behind him, trying to run him over. At the last second, The red-haired boy pushes him out of the way, proving that he is indeed a true friend. After the fight, the police arrive and arrest the gang members. An officer asks which adult was responsible for defeating them, but the students reveal that they did it themselves. The officer is shocked to learn that a group of high schoolers defeated a mafia gang. Back home, Yumin creates a group with his new friends, all of whom had suffered from bullying at some point in their lives. Now, they are united to put an end to harassment at school. However, most students turn against them. Even Leon starts spreading inappropriate comments about Lena. Furious, Yumin confronts him, warning him never to talk about her that way again. The teacher continues to support them, as she is the only person at school who treats them well. She mentions that to raise the school's intellectual level, the students need to compete against other schools in an academic contest. When they arrive at the competition venue, they realize that the rival school is entirely different from theirs, modern, clean, and organized, whereas their own is dirty and chaotic. As they sit in front of the other competitors, they are ridiculed. Yumin then realizes that he made a mistake choosing his school. He accidentally enrolled in the most problematic school in the city, where fights break out constantly. In fact, he witnesses a group of students beating up a defenseless boy. Driven by his sense of justice, Yumin intervenes, teaching them that bullying will not be tolerated. The next day, they return to their meeting place, only to find it completely destroyed as a message that they are not welcome. However, this does not discourage them. They begin cleaning and organizing the place, strengthening their bonds of friendship, and above all, love starts to blossom among them. Suddenly, a guy smoking a cigarette appears and tries to intimidate them, insisting that they shouldn't try to stop bullying. However, as soon as the teacher arrives, he falls silent like a coward, unable to stand up to her. She then reveals that there are only 20 days left until the final exam and that they all must pass. Out of nowhere, Kim suddenly runs off after receiving a call from his father asking for help. Leah follows him, noticing how distressed he looks. She discovers that Kim comes from a very poor family, and even though he was a top student as a child, he was bullied for being poor. Because of this, he lost all confidence in himself. However, it is clear that Leah admires him. The two share a heartfelt moment, but before anything happens, they run into a group of bullies. The bullies mock Kim for being weak, and when Leah tries to defend him, she also gets beaten. Kim shouts at them to stop, but when they ignore him, he tries to protect her by biting one of the bullies' arms. Enraged, the bully punches Kim so hard that he collapses in pain on the ground. Luckily, Yumin arrives just in time. With just a single flick of his finger, he sends the bully flying as if he had been launched all the way to Madagascar. If he had used 2 fingers, it would have been an absolute disaster. Everyone watching is in shock, and they immediately start taking pictures to send to the principal. However, using a secret technique, Yumin erases all the photos from their phones before they can send them. He then rushes to check on Kim, who feels ashamed of himself for being so weak and unable to fight back. Embarrassed, Kim runs away, ignoring Yumin's concern for him. Back home, Kim's father confronts him and calls him a bastard for not bringing him money. He even insults Kim's deceased mother, saying that Kim is just as useless as she was. Enraged, Kim vows to himself that he will finish his studies so he never turns out like his father. Outside, Yumin is waiting for him and offers him a place to stay at his house. However, Kim refuses, insisting that he is not a child and can take care of himself. But as soon as Yumin leaves, the bully from before appears, seeking revenge. Terrified, Kim calls Yumin for help. Yumin gives him advice on how to defend himself, and Kim starts dodging the bully's attacks like a ninja. Then he notices Yumin watching from the rooftop. The bully, after missing so many attacks, becomes exhausted. Yumin tells Kim that now is his chance. Kim musters his courage, raises his fists, and lands a clumsy punch on the bully. However, in doing so, both of them fall to the ground. This causes Kim to lose connection with Yumin, and the bully takes advantage of it, mercilessly beating him to make him regret fighting back. Seeing this, Yumin rushes to his aid. Meanwhile, Kim recalls all the times he was bullied and humiliated. He decides that he doesn't want to live like this anymore. With a deep rage boiling inside him, he gathers all his strength and, for the first time, lands a powerful strike on the bully's head, knocking him unconscious. Kim is shocked but also overjoyed that he finally stood up for himself. Yumin takes Kim to his house to let him rest. However, when they arrive, Yumin's mother is already waiting and seems furious that he is late again. Yumin is visibly afraid of his mother, but he explains that he was helping a friend. To his surprise, his mother allows Kim to stay over. She treats Kim with so much kindness and respect that he experiences something he never had before, being cared for. It turns out that she always wanted another child but couldn't have one, so she treats Kim as if he were her own son. Kim deeply appreciates it. While the two friends sleep, Kim realizes that Yumin is obsessed with studying because his father was a famous scientist, and there has always been immense pressure on him to follow in his footsteps. Because of this, Yumin's mother meets with the principal and realizes that the school is a terrible place for her son. She decides to transfer him to a prestigious school in Seoul. His friends realize that to stop the transfer, they need to prove that their school is good for Yumin. When they see a student smoking, they quickly snatch the cigarette from his mouth and spray perfume in the air to cover the smell. They try to act like spies, but their plan fails when they realize that there are cigarette butts scattered all over the floor. Before Yumin's mother can leave, his friends block her car and beg her not to take him away, arguing that he is a true friend and belongs with them. However, she is unconvinced and speeds away. Determined to stop the transfer, they chase after her car with the help of the teacher. Lena, with a desperate heart, screams out for Yumin, pleading for him to stay. Suddenly, a motorcycle stops right in front of them, nearly causing a crash. They have been intercepted by students who want Yumin to leave the school. Unable to defeat them, the red-haired boy decides to use a secret technique that Yumin taught him, allowing him to float in the air before striking his opponent's foot. After this bizarre scene, Lena finally reaches Yumin and begs him to stay. They tell him that ever since he entered their lives, they have been happier and that he is the only one who can make their school a safe place. Yumin's mother finally realizes that her son has made real friends, people who genuinely care about him. Even the teacher speaks highly of him, saying that Yumin is the only one capable of putting an end to bullying at the school. However, just as things seem to be settling down, a gang suddenly storms in. Their leader is Chan, the second strongest student in the school and an extremely dangerous person because he carries a firearm. He orders his gang to capture all the students. Yumin gets ready to fight, but to his surprise, his own mother steps in first and knocks out one of the gang members in a single move. Chan, however, only laughs. He then points his gun at the teacher. Yumin's mother rushes to protect her, but Chan fires at a glass window nearby, causing it to shatter. The broken glass slices through Yumin's mother's body, leaving her severely injured. Yumin rushes his mother to the hospital, but he already knows who is behind all of this: Han, the strongest student in the school. Fueled by rage, he decides to take revenge, but Han's bodyguards stop him. Han, without a shred of remorse, mocks the fact that Yumin's mother is in the hospital, revealing the evil within him. Han then orders his bodyguards to kill Yumin. They attack him so violently that his bones turn to mush, leaving him battered and broken. Convinced that they have defeated him, they step away. However, on the verge of unconsciousness, Yumin remembers his trainer's words. Keep your mind focused on a single point and use all your strength. With the infinite power of love and determination, Yumin rises and uses forbidden fighting techniques, grabbing ears, breaking noses, and proving that hatred will never win. Now, he heads straight for Han because he knows that everything that has happened is his fault. As the school principal is in the middle of a speech, Yumin lands a devastating punch on Han, right in front of all the students. Han retaliates with a powerful kick, and the two stand face to face, ready to prove who is truly the strongest. Yumin is now ranked second among the school's fighters, and this is the final battle for the top spot. Meanwhile, the teacher files a formal complaint against the school, claiming that the violence is out of control. The principal scolds her, saying that this could lead to the school being shut down. He forces her to step onto the stage to apologize, but instead, she exposes the truth. The school's education system is a complete failure and needs to change immediately. She then reveals a shocking truth. The previous year, a teacher was murdered at the school, and the principal covered it up. She knows this because a year ago, she had dinner with that teacher, who told her about the growing violence in the school. In fact, she came to this school with the specific goal of investigating and changing the students' mindset. She claims that Yumin is one of the few students who truly cares about his future and wants to go to university instead of ending up in a criminal gang. But her complaint has consequences. The school, which controls the police, fabricates a scandal against her, falsely accusing her of fraud and embezzlement. Yumin refuses to let her be wrongly convicted and fights to prove her innocence. Meanwhile, the final exam day arrives. He is surprised by how easy the questions are and finishes quickly. Confident, he believes he will get high scores. However, after hearing his friends discuss their answers, he realizes he made several mistakes and panics, fearing he will fail again. As she recovers in the hospital, Yumin's mother calls the teacher to thank her for taking care of her son. She asks where Yumin is, as he hasn't come home. The teacher explains that he went out with his friends after the exam. Worried, she warns that Yumin always goes into shock after taking exams. And indeed, Yumin loses control. His friends try to talk to him, but he enters a state of trance, a parallel world where everything around him becomes an enemy. Unable to contain himself, he starts attacking everything and everyone. His friends do their best to help him, showering him with love and support, but Yumin feels like a complete failure. At the same time, the grandfather of a blonde student, who was once Han's bodyguard and always a loner, passes away. In a gesture of kindness, Yumin and his friends embrace him, giving him strength to overcome his sorrow. Soon after, the exam results are released. Yumin's friends celebrate their passing grades and eagerly await his score. When he finally checks, he discovers that he passed and is no longer one of the lowest-ranked students. With this achievement, the teacher proves to the principal that the study group is effective. As a result, she manages to change the school's rules. The first thing she does is file a complaint against Han. When he arrives at school, the blonde student, now part of the disciplinary committee, forces him to step out of his car and walk, a humiliation he had never experienced before. It is then revealed that Han was the one who murdered the teacher the previous year and is the mastermind behind all the school's violence. He is unbeatable. No one but Yumin can stand against him. To manipulate public opinion, Han and his father, a notorious criminal, hire influencers to spread false rumors that Yumin and his friends are actually the real bullies. The principal, Seizing the opportunity, imposes harsh punishments on them, banning Yumin from fighting and threatening to expel him. The situation worsens when Han offers a huge cash reward to the last student standing in an all-out battle. This turns the school into a war zone. Han declares that no one can change the school because the students are his slaves and only listen to him. On top of that, he forces the school to shut down Yumin's study group and orders his guards to dismantle everything they had built. Unable to fight back, Yumin remains silent. His friends, disappointed in him, drift apart. But as he remembers the happy moments they shared, Yumin realizes he cannot allow this injustice to continue. He gathers his group once more to put an end to Han's reign of terror. Meanwhile, the teacher obtains a recording in which the principal admits that Han's father funds the school to give his son absolute control. Terrified, the principal tries to flee, but the teacher pursues him. However, she falls into a trap set by Han's gang and finds herself in serious danger. Luckily, Yumin and his friends arrive just in time and rescue her. Soon after, Han and Yumin face off for the final showdown. The two exchange powerful blows and realize they have exactly the same strength. Meanwhile, Yumin's friends battle Han's gang. Wanting to end the fight quickly, Yumin pushes himself to defeat Han as soon as possible to protect the people he loves. The fight becomes an epic clash of titans. In the end, Han emerges victorious and tortures Yumin, twisting his ankle in a brutal manner. The pain is unbearable, but Yumin's greatest agony is knowing that his loved ones are suffering. Lena is being beaten, and the teacher is on the brink of death. Han mocks his female friends, but Yumin, enraged, decides to put an end to this once and for all. He leaps off the walls at high speed, striking Han from all directions, leaving him completely disoriented. With a final, earth-shattering punch, Yumin smashes the ground beneath them and finally defeats Han. Yumin becomes the #1 fighter in the school. But as he rushes to save the teacher, he collapses. When he wakes up, he sees Han's armed gang standing before her, ready to kill her. Before they can act, the teacher stands up, wielding a baseball bat, ready to sacrifice herself for her students. She is not alone. Each one of Yumin's friends steps forward to protect her, willing to die if necessary, because they know they are fighting for friendship. A final battle erupts, and in the end, Yumin's friends emerge victorious. The next day, a disciplinary meeting is held. Han is expelled from the school, and as he storms out in anger, he realizes the police are waiting for him. He is arrested for the murder of the teacher. The principal is also arrested for accepting bribes. Before being taken away, he asks for a cigarette, but the teacher snatches it away, declaring that from now on, she makes the rules and smoking is banned. With Han and the principal gone, Yumin transforms the school for the better. He deletes the fight ranking app from all students' phones, ensuring that from now on, people will be valued for their intelligence and kindness, not their fighting abilities. Thus, Yumin embarks on a new chapter at his school, surrounded by his friends, the true pillars of his life. He knows that whenever he feels lost, he will find love in Lena and in the others, because a true friend is someone who not only holds your hand, but also touches your heart. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to help us reach 1,000 subscribers and to make sure you don't miss any episodes. I post almost every day. Thank you so much for watching until the end. See you later.